again. It is Thursday night, and I'm Swan here to give you a short flow. Today I'm exploring this idea of approaching things, especially things that you've done many times, with a beginner's mind. And in my contemplations, I've been thinking a lot about how fear kills the imagination, and how I think, when I was younger, I think part of the reason I felt so brave and curious was because I wasn't afraid yet, because I hadn't learned all of the bad things that could have happened. And then we, start to build up protective layers based on our experiences of like, oh, when this happens, so I'm gonna, avoid that. Rather than just like approaching it with, kind of openness and not carrying, previous experiences with you. So with that in mind, we're just gonna start standing and then start to consider your body, your form in space. And consider how you could move subtly in your body to be more bright, like a toddler, to be more, open. So for me, I feel like that's feeling into my feet. That's letting my body be on top of my feet rather than, leaning forward, striving, reaching towards something, or like sinking back, kind of withdrawing, protecting, somewhere in the between. So I'm right kind of in the middle, balanced action here. Some other things you could try is just kind of inflating the heart a little bit more, adding some more lightness and brightness to this part of your body that helps you, emote to accept and receive love. Maybe you find space in the collarbones and in the shoulders. Maybe your arms change where they are. Maybe your head even changes where it is. And then how does your face feel? If you were to step into being bright like a toddler, rather than kind of like a droopy face, I'm not saying you have that, but, or just like kind of zoned out or, reaching for the remote control. Kids are like looking around. So just taking a moment to like step into your inner child, let that become embodied in your body. Like how would it feel to just like be that younger version of myself that had no fear or less fear, and sometimes fear keeps us safe, so we want to acknowledge that, but just take 3 breaths, feeling, the possibility, the potential, the way of being in the body and in the world without the fear that we often carry. Nice. From here, you can find your way to the front of your mat. Carry that body with you. And I'm going to turn sideways so you can see. We're going to do sunshine breath, which is my favorite. Inhaling, your arms are an extension of your inhale. As you exhale, I like to link my thumbs. You can kind of see. Link my thumbs. And then almost like a French press, I'm just letting go of anything that's no longer serving me in my body, in my belief systems, even in this moment, any kind of energy that I'm carrying from my encounters of the day, any frustrations that I brought with me onto the mat, letting those go, gathering light, gathering that beginner's mind, gathering the things you want to bring in. Exhale, letting go of anything that's no longer serving you in this moment or in this life. So let's take it simple, a couple breaths more, all the way in nice and slow with the arms. Noticing all the way out, nice and slow with the hands pushed down. One more time. Follow your rhythm. And then I lied. We're going to come to the bottom. We're going to take a breath in neutral, and then we're going to do it one more time in silence, as if it's the first time we're ever doing this movement, as if it's the first time we're ever doing this energy clearing, like ever. So let everything go that you just experienced, and then experience it all for the first time as you inhale. pause and take a moment to check in. We'll start to build some heat by coming into chair pose. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, sit back in your heels. And then here, I also want to point out that a lot of times we lean forward. So kids do that sometimes too, that are reaching for something, but we're often striving. We're moving on to the next thing. We're not appreciating the moment. See if you can settle your heart back into the moment. Settle the hips to root you in the past and in the present as you then open your heart to the future. Hands can be overhead. You can bring them into the heart, maybe if you have a prayer for something you'd like to invite in to your yoga practice or into your life. Hips are moving down and back. Let your weight move right down through the knees, right into the heel. So we've got a lot of bones in our feet. And actually, 1/3 of the bones in your body are in your feet. So that's a lot going on. But our heel is that big bone, and it's because it's made to hold our weight. So feel that connection to the earth and feel your body's ability to hold your weight. And maybe you're down low, and maybe you're up high, and then take a moment to unwire the way that your body wants to be in this pose, and connect to the way that your body wants to settle without all of the previous experiences of chair pose. One more exhale all the way out. Inhale to reach up, look up if you like. Exhale, we're just gonna fold nice soft knees. And taking some breaths here, inhaling to look forward, the spine grows nice and long. And exhale to fold. We'll do that 2 more times with your breath. Floating halfway up. And softening down. 1 more breath. Lifting, lengthening, finding space. Exhale, let your body soften gently into that space. From here, maybe some little swings. You've got about 5 breaths to explore anything you want to explore here. Anything that's feeling good in the body. So kids follow after pleasure. They like things that feel good. Let yourself step into that mindset. Notice where your body wants to guide you, where it wants you to stop, where it wants you to sink deeper. And then we'll inhale all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands come into the heart. Lovely work. From here, if you have a chair that's handy, that might be a good idea. Otherwise, you can just use blocks, you can use books, you can use a counter. But what we're going to do is just find a forward fold that's very, very, very supported. So finding your chair, you're going to bring it in front of you a couple inches. Inhale, lift up, look up. And exhale, start to fold. And then you're going to just let your hands come down. Maybe your forearms come down. Maybe the head rests on the forearms. And then here, just noticing your weight. Notice what it feels like to bring the weight forward on the feet. What that feels like in your legs and spine and hips. What it feels like to let the legs sink back. Maybe a little bit of gentle swaying side to side. So giving yourself permission to explore the sensations and the experience in your own body in this moment. So no stories, no like, oh, that's my knee injury from so-and-so. Just be like, oh, my knee's feeling tender. Let me listen to what it needs. Let me soften my knees. Let me lean forward, back, let me come up a little bit higher. Let's stay for 3 more breaths. If you're moving, settle into stillness for your last breath. Really staying present with your breath and with all the sensations you're having. And then we'll slowly come up. You can bend the knees, you can round up through the spine, back to our mountain pose. 1 more breath in that bright like a toddler, inner child, embodied pose. Like, I'm ready world. I'm so curious. I'm so interested in everything that's around me because I don't have any ideas or relationship to it that invites uncertainty or unknown or fear. All right, we can keep this chair handy, and we're gonna slowly find our way to the floor. And our legs will go wide. So maybe not like the absolute widest you can go, maybe not the most narrow. Kind of play, again, kind of figure out, like where do I want to land right now? Chair's gonna come right in front of the hips. And a similar thing, we're just gonna lean forward, folding, creating lots of gentleness here. Very soft engagement of the feet, so I'm not like flexing like deer life, I'm not pointing for deer life. My feet's kind of relaxed, and then I'm just sending like 10% of my energy out the foot, just to find that extension, that lengthening through the foot. Again, feel free to move around here. It can be really nice. And also feel free to find stillness. We've got 2 more breaths. If you're leaning forward on your chair, find your way back. If you want to keep this for the end, you can maybe throw your calves up on it. I'll show you both. We're going to do one more series before we get there. Right leg's going to fold in, left leg stays long. Rotate the shoulders to frame out that left foot. Inhale to lengthen up through the spine like you're a kid and you're trying to reach for clouds or stars, like thinking that it's possible. Exhale, keep that length, fold forward. As soon as you start to round into that, desk job, I don't know, like I'm guarded, my heart's closed. If you're feeling that, back up, find a place where you can feel light and spacious. And it might mean that you're just moving like an inch. Like this, if this feels expansive, stay here rather than trying to reach deeper. We've got 3 more breaths here. Feel free to move gently or stay with your breath in stillness. And again, the gentlest of energies moving through the feet, keeping the legs energized, but not 100%, like 15, 20%. Exhale to empty. Hands can come down to it anytime if that's getting a little invigorating. All right, so we have our right knee bent, right hand's gonna come behind the right hip. Hips lift, left hand lifts. We're just reaching up and over, baby back bend. Enjoying the sensation of opening in the hips, opening in the back. Lengthening through the front body. And we'll switch our legs. Frame the long leg with your shoulders. Lift up to find that length. Exhale, lean. Stay open and spacious to possibilities. Stay bright like a toddler in your heart. Hands can come to hips, to the floor, if this is a little bit too much. If you want that extra energy, keep breathing. Maybe finding small movements, adjusting, being curious about your body. Maybe soften into the breath and stillness. One more big breath here. Stay all the way to the end of your exhale. Inhale carries you up. Left hand softens behind the left hip. Push into those fingers, push into the knee. Lift the hips up, opening only as far as it feels good in this moment. And then taking a breath to feel, to be here in this body right now. And settle back down. All right, final pose of the day. Feel free to plug in anything else. So I'm going to take my glasses off and cover my eyes. This is your basic Shavasana. You're lying on your back, legs are gently spread apart, arms are wider than you think, or hands on the hips, getting you a little bit of space in your armpit ribs for the breath. Maybe cover the eyes. Feel free to stay here as long as you like. If you're planning on being here a little bit longer even, you can start to move your chair back onto your mat. And then we want to make sure that we've got enough height that when we put our legs, they're not reaching like this, they're bent. So you can see I'm going to need a little bit more height. So luckily I've got some padding at the ready, a couple towels and a blanket. And you kind of have to scavenge around your house to see what you have. What's available to you. And also, feel free to play with the props. Again, like you've never done it before, notice what feels good. Gentle bend in the knees so we don't want to crank up, we don't want to be reaching. And then again, covering the eyes. Oh yeah. Feel free to stay right there. And I will send you off with a gentle poem, something that's been in my mind this week. It's called The Community of the Spirit by Rumi. This one is translated by Coleman Barks. There is a community of the Spirit. Join it and feel the delight of walking in the noisy street and being the noise. Drink all your passion and be a disgrace. Close both eyes to see with the other eye. Open your hands if you want to be held. Sit down in the circle, quit acting like a wolf, and feel the shepherd's love filling you. At night, your beloved wanders. Don't accept consolations. Close your mouth against food. Taste the lover's mouth in yours. You moan, she left me, he left me. 20 more will come. Be empty of worrying. Think of who created thought. Why do you stay in prison when the door is so wide open? Move outside the tangle of fear thinking. Live in silence. Flow down and down in always widening rings of being. If you're cozy, stay cozy. I'll see you guys next week. Also, I have a Flow and Restore on Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. on the Zoom channel with Upper Valley Aquatic Center. Please check out the website for more details, or you can direct message me. All right, thank you, friends. We'll see you next week.